All right, folks, welcome back. Good afternoon. First home game for the Fundy Kraken since December 21st when they tied the Flames here on home ice. And they're looking to kick things off against the Western Wolves for their first home game after the holidays. And I think they're going to be coming out strong, looking for that win. Both teams coming off the ice jam from last weekend. And neither one came away with the win, but the Wolves managed to pull a 3-1 win against the Highlanders. And a loss, 1-0 to the Calgary Fire. And we're going to get things kicked off here. And looks like we have our starting lineups making their way on the ice as the officials are at center ice for this draw. Face-off one back to the Kraken. Against the boards, they're going to battle it out. And puck's loose, sent deep into the Wolves' end. As it's picked up in the corner. And Little sending it over to Heidi Becks with a shot and a save. Wolves look to make the clear. Chipped off the boards, held in. And everybody's at the boards battling at the Wolves bench, and we have an offside call against the Kraken. We'll pull this one outside the line for the face-off. 19:20 left in the first period. Face-off in the feet. Wolves pull that one away. Matty Richards sends that one down for an icing. Against the Wolves, we'll pull this back down into Wolves zone for the face-off. And Wolves are missing a couple players today. Clara Chason and Brooke McGogan. And face-off. And a shot, and that goes into the skates as the Kraken pick that one up in the corner, and they're looking to get another one. And a shot and a glove save by Peyton Crozier. And starting goaltenders, Wolves, Peyton Crozier in the net. And the Kraken with Mara Gillespie between the pipes. And face-off in the feet, and the Wolves come away with this one, and they're going to make their way through neutral zone as they take this one deep, sent on net, and that'll be a cover-up by Gillespie. And that will be back to the face-off, just right of the Kraken netminder. Face-off bounces in the feet. That's pulled back to the Wolves D. Picked up by Mills and sent back to the boards as they battle it out to gain control. Wolves come away with it as Murray sends that one to Pinot. Pinot with the shot and Gillespie with the save. Wolves in the slot, poked away. And the Kraken try to make their way as a penalty coming up to number 12, Murray on the Wolves for interference. This is going to send the Kraken to the power play for 2. And the power play line coming out as the Wolves will be down for 2 minutes. Face-off. Kraken have control. Back to the defense. And almost poked away as they recover. And the Wolves take control, and they are going to get the ice. Mara out to play this one as it's retrieved by Duguay. Duguay sends that up to LeBlanc. LeBlanc and Matty Richards is going to clear that one, and that almost bounces in the net as a misplay by Gillespie. And the Kraken looking to get set up in the Wolves zone, and the pressure from the Wolves. They just cannot bring it in, as we have another penalty coming up for a slash against the Wolves. And the Kraken will go 5-on-3 for 1:09. Number 10, Caden Thomas for the Wolves, taking the slash penalty early on in this game. And this is going to give the Kraken such a good chance to get on the board early. Face-off, one back. D to D. Duguay. Over to Bex. Duguay takes the shot, almost tipped in by Peyton Garnett. Shot, rebound, that's sent away by the Wolves. Duguay looking for a shot in between the legs, and that is blocked by the Wolves. And that'll be all the way back down. McNamara out to pick this one up as Boutier comes around and looking to get things rolling back down in the Wolves' end. And that'll be pulled back and just missed as they were trying to get something going, and just a misstep there by Heidi Bex. Heidi Bex loses the puck. And Isabel Wilcox, or not Wilcox, sorry, that was Sarah Duguay there to retrieve. Little kicks that one free as she dumps and chases. As a pass right to the slot into the skates, as she was wide open. And a shot sent to the net, and that's deflected wide by the skate. As the Wolves get the clear. Maddie Richards again with that, as we have a 5-on-4 now for the Kraken, as the first penalty comes out of the box. And LeBlanc makes her way in and back to Dickey, and that is sent away again. With 10 seconds left in this penalty kill for the Wolves, and Mara almost sends that to the stick of Kinley Duncan. And that's poked away as we are back to even strength. And the Kraken gain control on their own end. And the pressure is back on from the Wolves. And they struggle as she's taken down, and a shot from behind the net on that rebound save by Mara. With Callie McNeil out front, picking that one up, and Mara right on top of that, which will put us to the face-off. It's still scoreless. And no shy of chances there for the Kraken with that 5-on-3. And face-off, one back behind the net. Kraken gain control as Boutier makes her way, and that is sent across crease by Webster. And they're going to battle at the boards for this one. And the Kraken making their way through, and that was sent into the feet of Ricketson. And icing's waved off. Back in neutral zone. Wolves take control, and that was sent into the Kraken bench. It looked like it came off the back of the linesman. So we are 14-15 left in the first period. And it's still 0-0. Back to the faceoff just outside the Wolves line, and the Kraken are going to send this one deep. And the Wolves gain control and behind their net and look to get the breakout. And Garnett tries to send that one. It comes off the shins, but Duguay was there to pick this one up and into the skates. And she trips over the stick of Pinot. And sent deep by Duncan. And Mara's going to play that one, but the official blows it down. Thinking that it was going to be a freeze to go to the face-off, but Mara had other ideas in mind. And we are back at the draw. Face-off one back to Boutier. And that's sent as they make their way through the neutral zone. And that will be back into Wolves zone, picked up by Richards. And we're back and forth here. They're battling at the boards in the skates. Someone's trying to come free with it. And Kraken. And that'll be sent back down into Kraken zone as they'll back and forth behind the net with this puck. And looking to get breakout going as Somerville was on the chase, and Boutier there to send that one deep. As they make their way deep into the Wolves zone, battle behind the net. Looking for somebody out front, but they were getting a change, no one there. Wolves, Murray coming through and beats everybody with the shot, and a beautiful glove save by Merrick Gillespie. I think that one might have been going wide, but the reflexes either way are impressive. That close with that kind of shot. Back to the draw. And Wolves win this one, back to the D. Sent in and tipped, and that is another great save by Mara. Tipped by one of the Kraken players. And she tracked that one and scooped that right up. Back at the draw. Wolves right out front in the slot, and that shot goes wide. As Kraken picked this one up. And Boutier chipped over to Dickey, and Dickey is going to battle this one inside the Wolves zone. That's poked away by Stevenson and picked up as the Kraken take control again. That'll be sent just wide of the net, deep. And poked away by the Wolves as they come in 2-on-1, and she goes short side, and that just goes high of the net. McPherson trying to hold the line and couldn't quite keep it in. Picked up by LeBlanc. LeBlanc's going to send that deep as they go for a change, get some fresh legs on the ice. The Wolves coming with speed, and that's poked away by Somerville. Somerville coming in, and she gets knocked down. Battle at the boards. Legier, along with Thomas. And Kraken gain control as the defense makes her way in. Shot, and that's right into the shins, and a shot and a pad save by Crozier. Out front, and that's blocked by McNeil. And the Wolves almost get control there. Kraken going D to D. Off the boards, held in by Webster. And Pinot in control here up to Murray. Murray just misses that pass. And Duguay will send this one up the boards, back in the Wolves zone, and no icing. So Pinot will go reverse this one back around. And Webster is going to battle it out against Little. That's back into Kraken zone. And that'll be carried through by Heidi Becks. And sent away, but they managed to put that back into Wolves zone. And to get a few fresh legs on the ice. Wolves trying to make their way up. Stevenson. And that's back to Richards. Richards makes the shot, and that's blocked into the shins of Duguay. And she goes to pass that one back. Stevens there to pick this one up. She's going to walk in and drop pass back to Duncan. Duncan with the move. And Kraken steal that one away. No problem. Duguay trying to make her way through center ice. Taken away. And I heard someone yell too many. I just had a look there to see if see what was happening. Battle in Wolves zone behind the net. 2-on-2 at the boards. Kraken couldn't quite come away with that one. And the Wolves making their way through. Looking, sets one on net, and that's poked away by Mara. Stopped in the feet of the defense. And I believe that's LeBlanc. That was LeBlanc behind the net, making the moves. As they just kind of going back and forth, and Duguay gains control. Chips off the board just to get it out back to the neutral zone. And the Wolves are going to send that one back in. Murray on the chase. And that one's stalled right at the net. Picked up. And Mills sends it over. Shot and a save by Mara. Great little play there by the Wolves, and just cannot get it past the Kraken netminder. And the shots aren't being kept today. We're still scoreless. But it seems, I think Mara's had a couple more than the rest. And sent in behind. Oh, a slide pass out front. No one in the slot for that one. As the pressure's on from the Wolves to keep this one in. Battling, and Little's going to pick this one up. And the Wolves steal that one away. And the puck's just trickling through the circle into the slot. A no-look pass, right, or no-look shot right on net, and Mara sends that one to the corner. And the Wolves are going to get a change here. That shot went high. And the Kraken in control. Almost a turnover right in the slot with that pass there. But Mills makes her way in and sends it deep to get the change. And a pass right to the slot. No one's there. Duguay with the shot into the shins. And that's back to the boards as Duguay is going to chip this one in. And the defense for the Wolves picked this one up. McPherson. And that'll be sent back down into the Wolves' end. And the Kraken get a few more fresh bodies on the ice. Couldn't hold that at the line. LeBlanc. She's going to walk this one in and around, and a shot, and that gets tipped away wide of the net. Lost in the feet. That's brought out of the, and we have a penalty coming up to the Kraken as the girls seem to be getting a little heated here, and we have a player down as I believe an intentional hit was thrown. And I'm not sure. I saw it happen, but I didn't quite see the extent of it. So Lauren Little to the box. And we'll just take a moment here and hopefully she's okay and gets up. And it seems like she might be okay. She needs help getting up here. Didn't quite see exactly what the hit entailed, so I'm not sure. If it was. And she is up and pushing her way off the ice, and I imagine she'll be brought back into the dressing room. I'm trying to catch the jersey number here so I know who it is. And looks like 22, Aislinn McAdam. And it must be a lower body because it seems like she's limping a little bit. And we have a 5-minute major on the board. As number 22, Bria Ricketson is going to sit this one out for Lauren Little. And we're back at the draw. We have a 5-on-4 for the Wolves, with 5:41 left in the first period. And the Kraken look to get five-minute major for slew footing. So that's what it was. Okay. And the Wolves have a great chance here to get on the board with this 5-on-4. And they're going to make their way through with speed. She slows up, waits for the rest of her team, and McNeil sent the pass, and she's in the slot shot, and that is right into the chest of Gillespie. And we will go back to the face-off left of the Kraken goaltender. Face-off in the feet. No clear winner here, and that trickles its way. Oh, Mara with the stretch, and they shoot and they score. And the Wolves are on the board 1-0. 4:54 left in this first period. And back at center ice, we will stay 5-on-4 for the Wolves. As that face-off is picked up, they're going to draw this one back D to D. And she's going to walk this one up over to Murray. Murray coming through to get set up. Richards over, shot, pad save. Kraken get the clear on this one as they get some fresh legs on ice. Stretch pass up to Murray. Murray getting through everybody. He's going to wheel this one around. Send it to Blackier. Blackier back to Murray. Shot. And that is blocked. Back to Pinot. Pinot Shot, rebounds, and a save by Mara back out front, and that is going to clear the blue line. And picked up by Pinot. Pinot looking to capitalize on this change, and she's going with speed as she chips this in deep, and she's just going to retrieve this. It's sent out front, but blocked by Mara Gillespie. Back to the D. D's going to send one on net. Mara tries to pick that one up. Couldn't. That's sent in behind as the Wolves gain control. And they're moving the puck around. And that's another bounce as there's chaos in the net. Shot. That goes wide. And that'll be cleared by LeBlanc as Bex goes on the chase. Wolves picking this one up as the pressure is on. And I couldn't quite see the number. Anyways, Wolves coming back through. Duncan, and the blocker saved by Mara. Duncan walks through everybody, makes the shot, and a nice blocker save up and over the net by Gillespie. And the Wolves right into the feet as they get that clear. And Richards didn't like that pressure, and she's just going to send it in behind the net. As they're still on the power play here for another minute and 17. And the Wolves can't seem to get out of their end with the cycling of the Kraken and just putting pressure on them. And that'll be chipped in by Legier. And Mills keeping this one away. And Murray, again, coming through, and she's looking to get a change. Sends that back to Pinot, and Pinot chips it off the glass and back into the Kraken zone. She takes the body down in behind the net, and no arm up from the ref. And don't think it was anything, but something probably could have been called there. And that is sent back out to neutral zone. Wolves try to get the reset. And we're in the last minute of play in the first period, and it is 1-0 for the Wolves. As that puck sent back down into the Wolves zone and picked up by McPherson. And that's sent in as a shot, and that goes wide by Thomas. And back in deep, Thomas there, battle against Duguay. And that goes rimmed around back out into the neutral zone. McPherson had it poked away by Richardson. Ricketson. And Duguay sends that around. Pass into the middle, and that will do it for the first period. 1-0 Wolves. And we are going to take a quick break as they get the ice flooded, and we will be back. All right, folks, we are back. Kraken and the Wolves take the ice, and the Wolves are up 1-0 with a power play goal late in the first period. And the Kraken back looking to settle the score on the board. One back to the D for the Kraken as they send this one in. And that would be an icing just as that was sent in just before the red line by Boutier. And we'll pull this one back into the Kraken end for the face-off. And LeBlanc at the draw. Wolves take control. They'll send that one in deep. Trying to pick it up in behind. And the Kraken, LeBlanc almost comes away with it, and that's picked away and sent back deep in by McNeil. Mara settles this one down as Boutier is going to take control, and she's going to walk this one through and around almost everybody and just loses the puck. Looked like it was a bit of a sticky ice situation down there in the Wolves' side, and making a great reset here back in the neutral zone. And Dickey loses the puck, and that's picked up by Stevenson. And in the corner is the battle between Bex and Stevenson, but comes away a shot, and that goes wide. As the Wolves send a pass right out front into the slot. Mills is going to try to take this one and send it over to Dickey, and shot. And that is saved by Crozier, and that'll be the whistle will go to the face-off in the Wolves zone. And 18:29 left here in the second period, and it is 1-0 for the Wolves. Haley Murray at the draw against Summer Gilliland. And that is one to the other side as they'll battle at the boards for it. Sent up to Webster. Webster making her way in, going 1-on-3, and a shot, and that just goes wide of the net. And a battle at the boards here with the 2-on-2. And that'll be walked through by Murray as she's knocked off the puck. Sent up, held in. And a shot on net, but Boutier's there to retrieve as she trips over something. I don't know if it was her own skates or something in the ice, but Wolves gain control again. As Thomas made her way through and brings that puck all the way in deep. And is there battling LeBlanc. LeBlanc to the ice. Pass out front, shot, and a save, rebound. And that was swiped away. And they couldn't quite connect with that. Two out front by themselves. As Mara is just being put to work here. And the Kraken finally come away with it as Legier pushed that to the boards. And we have a penalty coming up against number 10, Caden Thomas for the Wolves. And this will send the Kraken to the power play for 2. And that's a 2-minute head contact. We'll pull this puck into the Wolves zone as the Kraken go on the power play. And face-off one right in front of the goaltender. Bounces to the corner. Back to Boutier. Boutier, D to D. Shot on net, and that's into the shins of Richards. And she'll send that one all the way down for Mara to retrieve. And up to LeBlanc. LeBlanc looks like she's just going to skate this one as she loses the puck but gains control again. And she brings it all the way in, and a shot. And almost a rebound goal. That puck went through the legs, but was stalled up by the skates of the Wolves player, and they're going to pinch this puck against the boards as that comes free into the stick of Pino and tries to get that one up and out. And Duguay there trying to hold the line, and this 2-on-1 and a shot and a save by Mara, and look at that glove as the rebound comes out and she scoops that one up. With 16:05 left in the second period. And that'll be back into the corner. And Bex loses this one. She's looking to send it. She major fumble there as Kayla Mills of the Wolves was there to kind of pick that one up, but Boutier back in to send that stretch pass up to Legier, and Legier leaves that one for Bex. Bex back to Legier. She's going to try and go short side, and that goes off the post. And the 2-on-1 battle in the boards. The Wolves looking to hold this one to kill the rest of this penalty with 17 seconds left in it. And the Kraken send it out front. No one's there. And Kayla Mills, Bex with the shot. And a fumbling puck in front. And that goes in behind. And that pass retrieved, slot by herself. Oh, and the pressure from behind. A puck up in the air, blocker to the corner. And back as we're back to even strength. And Duguay is going to walk this one in, shot, and that goes wide. Back out front. And back in behind the net as the Wolves try to get this one out of their zone. And battles at the boards. Duguay sends it deep to the other side as Bex is going to go in and make a few moves here. Shot, rebounds, and that is some great goaltending there by Crozier. And Wolves player, she looked like she was going to try and cover that one up to get a face-off, because I imagine these Wolves girls are tired by this point, and that will be an icing as they attempt to get some fresh legs on the ice, but at least they'll get a little bit of a break here. With 14:07 left in this second period, Wolves are up by 1 in a 1-0 game. Face-off in the feet. Wolves bring this one around. And that'll come out of the Wolves zone and all the way down for Boutier to pick up. As she gets the puck poked away from her by Murray. Murray's going to send this back to Duncan. Duncan tried to get the shot off, and that's deflected wide. Back to the defense. Sent in. Pad save by Mara. That made it through everybody. And the Kraken's going to make their way forward as Dickey sends that one in deep, and goaltender out to play it. And the Wolves now have control as Richards tried to send that one up to the blue line for pickup, and the Kraken coming through. Oh, and that's poked away. Shot, and that is into the glove of Crozier. And that will take us back to the face-off in the Wolves zone. 13:02 left in the second period. 1-0 Wolves. And at the draw, Sydney Mills against Callie McNeil. And the Kraken almost had control of that one. And it was just shy of the stick of Legier. But she'll send that one back down in as Pinot is on the chase. And that one's stolen away as she tries to go short side, and a great cover up by Crozier there. And that'll send us back to the face-off left of Peyton. Croget. And Haley LeBlanc at the draw against Miley Stevenson. And that is one back behind the net by the Wolves. And they're going to make their way up. And a great pass there as they send it down into the Kraken zone. And battle at the boards again as Boutier comes away with it, sends it up to Dickey, and Dickey having a look, no one ahead of her, so she'll just chip this one in deep and chase it down, and the Wolves are there with the pressure. And rim back around. Sent into the feet, couldn't get control of it. Right out front. But Wolves were there to pick this one up, and a shot tipped. Oh, and that goes off the pad and into the corner. And Wolves come away with it as McPherson's going to make her way down and poked away by Duguay. Duguay sends that one in as the Sydney Mills on the chase. And she'll pick that one up and slide pass out front, where originally Wilcox was posted up, but she moved with the body and the puck and wasn't in position to pick that pass up to sink it or get a shot off at all. And the battles are back and forth here. And that'll be sent in, and Mary's going to cover this one up as we go back to the face-off. And so far, a pretty even game. I think Kraken have been dominating this period a little more, getting a few more shots and a few more scoring chances than the Wolves. And if they keep this battle up in time, they could tie this game up. Wolves coming out strong after this face-off. Mills back to Blackier. Blackier's going to send that deep as the Kraken look to try and come out and control again. Stevenson couldn't quite get a hold of it, and Boutier's there. She'll bring this back in behind Kraken net, and that is sent up to Gabriel Richard. And a pass, trying to go cross ice, and the Wolves are there to pick this one up, and a shot into the shins of Boutier. And a shot, glove down, picked up by the Kraken. They're going to post this one off the boards. Almost held in, but that was kicked back. And that'll be cleared back out again as the puck trickles into the Wolves zone. And the Wolves gain control as the fumbled puck grabbed by LeBlanc. And that'll be in around the net as Bex goes to add the pressure on. And Legier's there, pass out front, and that is almost tipped. LeBlanc was almost there to send that one in, but that was just tipped back to the boards. And back into the stick of McNeil. McNeil making her way through with speed. And we have a hooking call coming up against the Kraken. And that will send the Wolves to the power play for 2. With 9:20 left in the second period, 1-0 Wolves. And they will be on the woman advantage for 2 minutes. The Wolves win this one. Back over to Pinot. Pinot sends it right to the stick of Jillian. And Jillian couldn't quite go with the speed to pick that one back up. And now they're on the chase as Pinot. Major powerhouse, Stevenson. And that's poked away by Jillian again as she makes the clear. And that'll be back into the stick of Stevenson. Mills over to Webster. Webster taking the shot. That goes wide. as Stevenson walks this one around everybody. And she's going to get a reset here as they set up for this power play. And a shot put on net. It's pad save by Mara. That puck made it through all that traffic. And Mara dives on it. And that will be back to the face-off. And that is up and out of play. And we are back to the face-off. And one by the Wolves. They'll take that shot, and that is blocked. As the Wolves keep control and fired on net, and that just goes cross ice to the corner, and LeBlanc couldn't get a hold of it to get that clear as Richards holds the line. And that'll be a clear for the Kraken with 47 seconds left in the Wolves power play. And making their way through, Kelly McNeil going around everybody and stopping to get everybody in position and back to her stick, and that's a shot blocked. Richards holding the line, sent out front and fanned on, but she gains control back and got the clear at least to center ice. As LeBlanc and Bex are putting the pressure on the Wolves. And Gomez Speed, she almost lose her footing on that one. And Pinot back down in to Stevenson. Kraken rim this one around. As Legier looking to get the clear across ice. And Wolves gain control back. Mills with the shot and a nice glove save there by Gillespie. And a lot of times, goaltenders can get beat pretty good on that low glove side, and that is a hard one to reach for. And Mara did that one with ease. As we go back to the face-off, Cosman against Murray. And into the corner. We're back to even strength, by the way. I definitely missed that call. So we're 5-on-5. Slide pass out front, and that was missed as Somerville was on the chase, and gaining control is McPherson. That'll be sent. Oh! And it looks like Boutier's having some trouble there as that's covered up by Gillespie. And it almost looked like she lost a skate blade. I'm not sure what happened there, but she just kept losing her footing as she tried to get up. And she's waving over to try and get a stone to get her blades retuned. Face off. One back in behind the net. Rimmed around. As Legier tried to come away with that one, and Thomas is there, and Thomas takes the shot, and that goes high. Sent back to Richards. Richards. And that's poked away and up into the Wolves bench. And 6:02 left in the second period. And it's still 1-0 Wolves. And back to Blackyear. Blackyear sends that one in deep. And Mills for the Wolves is in there battling for it. Boutier's there. Sends that around to Garnett. And Garnett pokes that one off the wall. And now we're up to Dickey with a 2-on-1. Pass, shot, and a beautiful save by Crozier. As she read that one like a book. And Marshall sends that one back. Stretch pass up to Garnett. Garnett going in alongside Mills. Held at the line. And that is slide pass out front, and that is missed by everybody. As Somerville chips that one in right to the stick of Pinot. Pinot fires that one off the boards. And we're just in a game of back and forth right now. LeBlanc in, shot, and that is into the glove of Crozier for an easy save. 4:39 left in the second period. 1-0 Wolves. As we get a few line changes here. And back at the draw, LeBlanc and Murray. And the Wolves will come away with this one as the defense looked to have a little miscommunication who was going to be going for that puck. But the back check, or the forecheck, sorry, made it so they didn't have the chance. And in hard goes Bex, and the shot, and that is a save by Crozier, and the rebound as the Wolves aren't happy with that chop by LeBlanc, and they're throwing the cross checks on her. As LeBlanc made the move at the goalie. A little bit of a tap there with the stick. And the benches are getting a change here. Wolves trying to get it out as their zone. And the 2-on-1 at the boards for the Kraken. Wolves poke this one away. And a backhand shot, no look, and a pad save by Crozier. Wolves making their way through. And going in with speed. She's around the net. Back to Pinot, and Pinot makes the shot. And that goes high of the net. And Duguay tried to put that one off the boards. Legier's going to come away with this one, and that's taken away by Mills of the Wolves. Duguay picks this one up, and she's coming around with speed. And looking ahead, she's just going to walk through everybody. Shot, and that is into the belly of Crozier. And everybody kind of just watching her walk through them, and was able to get all the way from end to end and get that shot off. And we're back to the face-off. Mills versus McNeil. One shot right off the head of one of the Wolves players. So Duncan took that one in the side, and it looked like it must have clipped her neck or her ear as she makes her way off the ice. And we didn't see the return of the injured player from earlier, and I can't remember the name, and I should have marked it down, and I didn't. But I believe a shot on net, and that is swiped away effortlessly by Crozier. And that will be up out of the zone, and Kraken's here. And that is picked away by Thomas. Back in the Kraken stick. She's going to make her way with speed. Dickey sends it on net, and Crozier's going to cover this one up. And we are back to the face-off with 2:35 left in this second period. The Wolves are still up 1-0. And the Wolves getting the line change. And that'll be one. Wolves trying to carry that one in, and she was on the race for the puck. Legier. She's going to backhand that one back in behind the net. That'll be rimmed back up into neutral zone. As Duguay off the boards, try to pick that one back up herself. And the bouncing puck, and the Wolves gain control. They'll send that one into their own bench, trying to chip it in. And I think that's going to be outside the Wolves zone for the faceoff. And one into the stick of, what was that, Richard? Yeah. Back to Boutier. Boutier. And that was, I don't know if shot, and the Mara makes the save. But that looked like a clear trip on Boutier. I don't know if something, not sure if that was a different view on the ice than what I saw, but that looked like a stick in skates and no penalty called. So face-off one back. And we have a penalty coming up for head contact. And I didn't quite see what happened there, but we have Summer going to the box. I don't quite know how to pronounce her last name. If it's Gilliland. Anyways, we're going to go with Summer. Number 13 to the box for 2 for head contact, sending the Wolves to the power play. Face-off, Wolves win this one. Pinot over, shot, and that goes wide. And the battle in behind the net. So Wolves try to take control and get set up, and they do. Back from the circle, that's into the shins. And back again as she takes the slap shot. Dickey makes that block. And no pucks getting through so far. Tamara's Pinot is looking to come in by herself with speed, and she's going to bring this one right around and get the team set up. Shot, and that is blocked. And a save by Mara. Last minute of play here. And McNeil holding the line, sends it to Stevenson. Stevenson, shot, and that is into the chest of Mara. She makes the easy save on that shot. And the Wolves are up 1-0 still. And face-off won by the Wolves. 54 seconds left in this power play. McPherson is going to send that one in deep, just shy of Murray's stick. And Murray looking as she walks in, takes the shot, and that is deflected and just catches the tip of Gillespie's pad, and the Kraken will get the clear on this one. And they'll just hold as we wind down to the end of this second period. And the Wolves are up 1-0. They're going to start off the third period with the woman advantage for 23 seconds. And we will go for a break as the Zamboni comes out to clean the ice, and we will be right back. All right, folks, and we are back for the third period of this matchup. Wolves are up 1-0. And Aislinn McAdam is out for this game as she took the injury on the slew foot from Little there. And I don't think I seen Little. She might have got a game misconduct on that one. They only announced a 5-minute major, so 20 minutes on the clock. 1-0 Wolves, and the Kraken are look to tie this one up. The Wolves on the power play for 18 seconds as they make their way back through. Kraken take control. And back in the stick, McNeil. And she's going to send that one deep. And we're back to even strength. 5-on-5 as it was lost in the feet and holding the line. But sent back to the stick of Kraken as she trips up. Back to Butte. Butte sends it on net in the tip by Summer. And I did just have a chat with Summer about her last name, and that is up and out of play. As the penalty box is pretty close to me, I figured I'd ask her. And Gilliland. Summer Gilliland. So do my best to remember that. And back at the draw in the feet to be picked up by Mills, and Mills sends that back to Blackier. Blackier around to Pinot. Pinot sends it back around as the pressure from the Kraken is on, and that goes all the way back down into the Kraken end. And no icing there, as I think that's Marshall trying to get a hold of that one in a battle as the puck comes loose and sent cross ice. And we have an icing call coming up against the Kraken. We'll pull this all the way back down into the Kraken end for the face-off. Face-off in the feet, kicked away by Boutier, and sent back down as the puck slowly slides through with that sticky, wet ice. And it's always so frustrating for hockey players when they come out on the fresh ice and it's not moving how they would like it. And whoa, from the Wolves, trying to hold the line there, chipped off the glass into the neutral zone, but sent back deep. Mara out to settle this one down for Marshall to pick up. Reverse back around to Boutier. Boutier just misses this one. And Thomas will be in, sends it around for McNeil. Back out front, all alone. And Duncan just couldn't sink that one as Mara was too quick getting in front of the puck. Back to McNeil, slide out front. And a turnaround, no look backhand by Thomas, but that was sent away. And Richards holding the line there for the Wolves. As the Kraken are looking to get out of their own zone and probably get a change here. I imagine these girls are quite tired as they've been on for a couple. Slide out front, and that back check by Dickey. Totally denying, I think it was McNeil out front by herself to get that quality shot off. And we're going to have another penalty coming up against the Kraken as some bodies were hitting the ice. And we have a body contact coming to Haley LeBlanc, and she will sit for 2. And definitely not something that the Kraken needs in a 1-0 game. is to be playing down a girl. Face off in the feet. And everybody's kind of tied up as they reach for the puck. Wolves have it. And Mills will send that into the boards. And going to pick that back up as it gets swiped away. And that'll be an icing by Legier. All the way down to the goaltender, Pinot. Going to wait as they start to get the breakout going. And Stevenson is going to walk this one in. And the Kraken get the clear again as Boutier sends it back down to Crozier. And Pinot pass up. And that's stolen away as Bex makes her way in and over to the boards and sends that one deep. And no pressure there from Gilliland. That's a mouthful. I'm just going to call her Summer. And pushed down by Boutier off the puck. And that will be another clear with 46 seconds left in the Wolves' power play. And Crozier, she's going to send that puck up to Webster. Webster couldn't quite get a hold of it. Bex is there. And Garnett, backhand to the boards. But that'll be picked up by Murray. Murray just going to walk this one in all alone as the rest catch up, and that's sent back as the shot blocked. And that'll be off the glass. 15 seconds left in the penalty kill. Sent around for McPherson. McPherson, he's going to chip that one high for Mills to swipe down, but Duguay's there. And that'll be sent back as we come to even strength. LeBlanc on the ice, right to center to get the pass. As they go 2-on-1, trying to get it in. And we have another penalty coming up. And this one, this time against the Wolves, as we have a head contact. She tried to get up and had a hold of her stick, and that cross-checked her in the head as while she was on the ice. So that is going to send the Kraken to the power play for 2 with 14:33 left in this game. 5-on-3 for the Kraken. Face-off won by the Kraken as she tries to do the wraparound, swiped away by Crozier. And they try to get the Wolves try to get the clear, but Duguay's there holding the line, sends that in for, I think that's Sydney Mills going to battle for it. And Dickey right there, shot. Oh, and that is swiped away in behind, and the shot looks like it was trying to go to the stick of Mills, but she was tied up out front and held in by Duguay. The Wolves get the clear as Murray's going to send that one all the way down. And Boutier skipping the behind the net as she's just going to go for the walk, but the pressure from Stevenson. And she's looking to get a clear, clean pass. So she goes over to Duguay. And Duguay's going to walk this one in. And a shot and a nice glove save by Crozier. With 13:31 left in the third period. And the Kraken have 58 seconds to capitalize on this woman advantage here in the power play and try and tie things up. And back to LeBlanc. LeBlanc is going to try to send that one back deep, and she's just going to walk this in, and high shot. Almost looked like a chip, not so much of a shot. Duguay just going to send one on net, and that's into the skates of Pinot, and Pinot sends that one to the boards. And LeBlanc walking these ones around, and that's back to Duguay. Duguay shot, and that can't get through traffic as it's blocked by Pinot. And Summer back to Duguay. And that shot, and that is blocked again by Pinot. She chips this one off the boards, couldn't hold it in. We're 7 seconds left, and this will probably bring us back to even strength as Duncan is going to make her way out of the box here. Mills picks this one up, and she's trying to send that one up to Somerville, but that was picked off by Wolves number 4, Mills. Now there's a Mills on each team, so let's not get things confused. We have a Sydney Mills and on the Kraken and a Kayla Mills on the Wolves. And Boutier tried to send it from her knees, and that ends up in the stick of Richards. She tried to send one in. That's deflected wide, and another block there as the Kraken looking to get something going. And a nice block there as well, but that's right out front, and a shot, and she scores. And that makes it 2-0 off the rebound. Kinley Duncan catching that one from Kayla Mills. And Kinley Duncan is actually the point leader for the Wolves. She's got 19 points in 33 games. And Kraken coming through with this one as they bring it, carry it in deep. And a pass out front, she couldn't get her stick on it. Webster over, poked away, and Mara's going to come out and pick that one up. As the swipe from Thomas on Gillespie wasn't appreciated by the Kraken players. And that means we are going to get a penalty for interference against the Wolves. I don't know if that was what was happened in front of the net or if that was before the play. I don't know when that happened. However, the Kraken will take it. The woman advantage for 2. And Wolves win this one, trying to clear it, but that's sent back to Duguay. Over to Boutier. Boutier sends one in, and that's stopped by Blackier. That'll go all the way back down to Mara. She sends it back to Boutier. And Boutier's coming in with speed as she makes her way around. And she's coming in. Drop back to Bex. And Bex making the moves, and she's pushed off the puck by Webster. Duguay taking the shot, tipped, and that didn't quite get the tip on it. And a nice save by Crozier. And that'll be cleared. As the Wolves get the change here. And Duguay looking for someone to pass to, hesitates, almost gets the puck stolen from her. But ends up sending it off the board for backslide pass out front. And a shot through the legs and a bouncing puck, but a stop by Crozier. And Mara is going to send this to LeBlanc. Picked up by Stevenson, and she... Oh, and a blocker save by Mara. She gets the shot off. And Duguay up to LeBlanc. LeBlanc coming through with Bex. And she's going to look as Legier tries to get the shot, but Stevenson guts her stick on it. And Woe couldn't get the clear. But the Kraken decided to pull this one back into their zone and into the skates of Mills as they let her walk in, and she gets the shot off the stick of Legier. Couldn't quite get through, and that, another real clear tripping there, but never got called. And we're back to even strength as an icing is called. We'll pull this puck back down into the Kraken zone for the face-off. With 8:55 left in the third period, Wolves are up 2-0. And Gillespie just fixing her glove there. Must be too hot. And back to Pinot. Pinot takes the shot, blocker save to the corner. And Duncan in there, try and get this one up, but Summer takes her to the boards and puts that pressure on her. Back to Pinot. Pinot makes the shot, a tip and a save as it's in behind the net. And I think that's Haley Murray picking that one up. And then back to Duncan. Duncan tried to send that one out front off the shins, and Murray's there to pick this one up. She walks in, and that chipped up over Mara right out front. And she couldn't quite get a hold of it. Sent. Oh, and Murray couldn't get the tip into the net. The puck just goes beyond her stick, and that's brought outside the blue line. Pinot chips this one in as everybody tries to get a change here to get some fresh legs on the ice, and that one's sent deep in behind the net as Maddie Richards sends that one into the neutral zone. And the battle at the boards between Stevenson and Legier, and the puck is sent cross ice for Miley Stevenson to pick up, and almost out front all alone. But the Kraken were there to get that at least back to the defense. And in control again, making her way through. As she trips up a little bit and falls to the ice. Duguay with the shot. Or Dickey, sorry, and that's blocked. And LeBlanc ripping around and almost. She got that one through, and Crozier made the save, and the Wolves are going to chip this out into center as they get a couple changes here. And Boutier to Somerville. Somerville couldn't quite get a hold of it. And Duncan's going to walk this one in off Woe. Bex sends it around. Boutier back to Bex. Bex stolen away. And out front, Mara's going to pull that one back in and freeze it up. So we go to a face-off. And a lot of back and forth and pretty even all game. But Kraken just cannot seem to put anything past Crozier or get those good rebounds on their stick as the Wolves defense tie them up and are just playing that type of game where nobody can get a good quality rebound shot on net. And we're battling in the neutral zone. Dickey walks it through center. Mills comes through to try and pick that off and couldn't do it. And a shot in as Sydney Mills of the Kraken is on the chase. And the Wolves coming up through. Bex to pick this one up as she's trying to capitalize on the Wolves change. And desperation setting in to try and get on the board with 5:39 left. And Boutier over to, couldn't see the number, sorry. And that'll be walked in by Richard. Richard, she sends that deep. As the Wolves look to cut out, as Beck's coming in with speed to try and save that one from being pulled back into the neutral zone. Murray is going to pick this one up for the Wolves and trying to send it deep. Black Year takes the stick out of LeBlanc's hands. Richards with the shot, pad saved by Mara. And that is going to be chipped up high. Richard knocks it down. Back to back to Boutier. And Stevenson for the Wolves couldn't get a hold of that one. LeBlanc coming in against Blackyear. Blackyear reversed back around to herself. And she'll send that up off the boards to center ice, and that goes back in deep as Summer is on the chase. They try and gain control. Oh, tried to get that pass out front, and that was blocked. Legier coming in, and Stevenson on the, and we have an offside call against the Wolves. Pull this puck outside the Kraken zone for the faceoff. And we got Murray at the draw. And the Kraken tried to, they got control, Bex. And a shot right into, right there, and a beautiful save by Crozier. The bouncing puck off of chests and right out front. And I'm trying to keep up on the numbers in these different little scenarios while I'm watching the puck, and sometimes it's just hard, so forgive me for not calling out some of the names. Sent wide by Bex, and that'll be slapped in as the Wolves hold it in the Kraken zone. And right out front. And Mara wasn't even paying attention. I'm not sure what was going on with that one. I looked to the Wolves bench to see who was coming on the ice, and all of a sudden the puck's sitting out front of Mara Gillespie all by itself with Wolves players skating towards it, and a shot right into the chest of Gillespie. And I'm going to have to go back to watch that one because I have no clue what happened there. 3 minutes left in regulation time. And face-off in the feet, chipped up over the net. Boutier there picked that one up as she's looking to make their way out. And that is taken away as she walks in. That was Thomas. And the Kraken are going to try to come through. Back to Thomas. And that's shot up over the net. Rebound. Stevenson couldn't get a hold of it. And the Kraken are back in control. As Somerville makes her way through. And a shot and a blocker save by Crozier over to the corner for Murray to come and pick up. And that's sent back around for Richards. Richards up to Stevenson. And Murray is coming through. Mara to the bench. We have a 6-on-5 as the Kraken are looking to move up and out of their zone with the empty net. And that's sent deep. As the Wolves are trying to avoid their zone right now. And they're going to go. And a pass up. And a shot. And she scores. The empty netter. 3-0 for the Wolves. And I didn't catch. I think that was Mills. I'm not 100% sure. And maybe they'll announce it. And Richard over to take the draw. Or Richard, I'm not sure which one. Kayla Mills with the goal and Misha Penot with the assist on that empty netter. And Mara back to the net. We're even strength. 5-on-5 as we come into the last minute of play. And the Wolves are going for a tripping. And the Kraken will finish this one out with the woman advantage. As we have Webster going to the box for 2. And a timeout here as the coaches for the Kraken are giving them how to play this 5. They're going to pull, I imagine they'll pull Mara for this one and do the 6-on-4 to at least break this shutout. And it's not unheard of to score a few goals in the last minute of play, but tying this one up is going to be tough for them. But their best bet is going 6-on-4. And you never know. Score 3 goals in a minute. I mean, crazier things have happened, but we'll see where this one goes. And they are making their way back to the draw circle. Mara to the bench. Mara Gillespie for the Kraken on the bench. And we have a 6-on-4 for the final minute of this game. Wolves are up 3-0. Charlie Webster, number 6 for the Wolves in the box for tripping. And that is one back to the Kraken as they're going to make their way through. Oh, and she couldn't get a hold of it for that shot, and that'll be cleared by the Wolves as Duguay picks this one up, and Duncan on the chase. Sent up to LeBlanc. LeBlanc making her way in along with Dickey. LeBlanc back in. Bex, backhand up over the net. LeBlanc sends it around the net. Bex is going to pick this one up. 20 seconds left. And she drops that back for Mills. Sydney Mills in against the boards as the Wolves try to hold this one to finish off this game. And a backhand across the crease. That goes to the boards. And Murray is going to pick this one up for an empty net breakaway, and she shoots and she scores the buzzer beater to make it a 4-0 game for the Wolves. And a great game, great play, great effort by both teams. And we are back tomorrow at 10:45 a.m. to watch these two teams battle it out again. So, my name's Jacob Gupta with High Button Sports, and we will see you all back here tomorrow at 10:45. Enjoy your Saturday night.